In eons long past, a dangerous lich threatened the safety of the land, except for one day, when a party of bumbling fools managed to catch him off guard and end him, but not completely. Now, it is up to his disgruntled magical items, once adventurers themselves, to finish the job. This is the Lich's Horde.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back.
Sorry,
That's staying.
Welcome back to Systems for round 2 of the playtest of the Lich's Horde. That's right. We're back after last episode of working through this one-shot TTRPG that I, Aaron, wrote. Let's go ahead and start it out with a little bit of a recap. First off, a reintroduction of the characters. Trent, remind us who you were playing as.
I am a belt. More specifically, the emboldening belt of personality. I work very hard, very diligently to make sure people do the stupidest things with the utmost confidence.
Perfect. And Matt, reintroduce yourself.
I'm the fleet-handed poniard of opulence. I make people feel very, very selfish things.
And you have a piece of quartz on the end of the dagger, right?
It's a ruby hilt. It's very, very centrally important to my character.
And
why? I don't know, but it is.
And special guest Jeremy, reintroduce yourself.
Hello, I am Jeremy, and I play the aromatic glass of intuition, and I help people understand their instincts, and I also help them smell the things that they desire most and other things.
Yuck. Currently, you are in the hands of these two people, and the dark hooded figure says, "Now, what was your name again? You ambitious rogue." And the halfling says, I've decided that I want to go by my last name from now on, now that I'm joining the Dark Brotherhood, so you can call me Mr. Fleetfoot. The hooded figure says, "Well, that's very strange, but as you will, Mr. Fleetfoot. You'll come with me. Our plans, we must haste, because the Dark Brotherhood's hour is soon at nigh."
Hey, Rube, you should try to get up with the rogue, then he'll be fleet of hand and foot.
You know, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to be part of the Assassin's Brotherhood or the Thieves Guild here.
Yeah. I could see that working out pretty good for you.
They sound like quite an unruly lot.
Remind me again, what did you guys name the diadem? Carl.
With a K.
Right. Oh, with a K. Dang, it's more chaotic than I realized.
How many L's?
Just one.
Just one? Okay.
Okay. How many A's? Is it Carl or is it Carl?
It's just Carl.
Well, Carl pipes up and he's like, yeah, joining the Thieves Guild is actually a great plan, and that was my plan too, so you're welcome, guys. We're all on the same side here.
Well, I mean, we should still probably try to resort to returning to our normal selves. I'm just saying, if things don't work out, there's worse fates.
And the hooded figure escorts Mr. Fleetfoot, through a dark alley and knocks 3 times on what seems to be just a wall, but the panel is pulled back and it's a secret door. And they walk down into a hidden entrance into the sewers, and there are other hooded figures in there. And they walk into a room where there's candles arranged in the room, and there are a few figures that are slowly chanting. And Mr. Fleetfoot is like, "Oh, is this where I get my nice new hood?" And the other figure says, "Yes, of course. Anyone who joins our evil cult of darkness must be properly adorned." And he grabs another dark hood and he puts it on, and soon Mr. Fleetfoot is pretty much indistinguishable from everybody else in the room except for his short stature.
Man, I really like the quality.
What does it smell like?
God.
It smells as good as you can expect from a sewer lair.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that ritual that we got to do to become human again?
Well, the thing is, I don't think I really remember anything about it.
The tone of your voice doesn't lend me to believe that you're actually telling the truth, dude. Like, come on.
What? How could you even think that I'm...
Now be reasonable, Carl. Just tell us.
Listen, I know that the ritual needs to be done within 24 hours. Wait, no, it doesn't need to be done within 24 hours. It needs to be done 24 hours after the death. Yeah, that's right. And with the rise of the sun comes the rise again of Akator, and he can go back to pulling the strings behind the scene, bringing darkness into this world and whatnot.
Are you saying you want Akator to rise again?
What?
I have a question. So, we're all. I'm confused. We're like people, right?
You were people, yes.
Jeremy, how does your power work?
So when people use me, I enhance their sense of instinct. However, there is a magical effect that when I am in someone's hands, I can help them smell things.
Oh, okay. I wanted to see if you could try to emit a scent that would help us understand what Carl wants.
I don't think I can influence Carl at all.
Okay.
So I think I was asking. Oh, that's right. I was talking to Carl about. Because Carl. I'm gonna get back into situation. You mentioned that. You said that with the rise of the sun comes the rise of Akator again. Is there any way for us to, let's say, make sure the sun does not rise for Akator?
I mean, well, obviously, I agree with you guys that that's what we should do, because I want to return to a, body of flesh that, will grow old and die. So I think maybe, the volcano outside, like 50 miles away from this city, if you guys go there, I bet, there's a secret artifact that could stop the ritual from going through.
Like, what? This is just me being curious at this point, but like, what is the ritual? Like, if like you seem to, know kind of what's going on. Like, what does this ritual look like? What's it composed of? Because at this point, I'm just kind of curious.
A group of people gathers together in the right formation, saying the right words at the right location, right time. It's a ritual. Meanwhile, while this is happening, the chanting continues by the other cultists in the room, and there's a moat of fire appears on the wall, and it's slowly expanding into a little circle of flame that right now it's the size of a coin, but it's slowly increasing in size. Anyway, it's probably fine. You honestly, why would the these people even know how to perform such a ritual? Like, it's you guys can probably just relax, because I doubt it'll even really happen. And then you hear, because you guys all have a telepathic connection together, you hear Carl say, "Hey, dark scary cultist, you know what would be in your best self-interest is if you looked into your dark tomes to see if there's a ritual that you could perform that would be, important to do in this time." And you guys see the cultist who's like, and he like rubs his chin, and then he goes over to a little shelf that's on the side of this room and starts looking through the books that they have there.
Hey, Carl, you're on speakerphone.
Carl's like, I forgot you guys can hear me.
Hey, dark scary guy. Who cares about this sort of transaction that was going to take place, right? You've got the rogue here. You've got all of his stuff. Why not just take him out of the picture?
So you're tempting him to kill the rogue?
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, I suppose that's something that, yes, would be, enhanced by dexterity. So he, in trying to fulfill both temptations at the same time, he's holding a book in one hand, and stalking over towards the rogue and reaching into his pocket for spell components with the other hand.
I'm going to emit a puff of smoke. Poof. A cloud of smoke.
Okay. I would like to betray my bearer, mostly because the thing that I'm planning on doing and is not for his own best interest, but I want it to serve two purposes. So here's my idea, right? I'm gonna tempt my bearer, who is the rogue and a new member of this cult, to make an acceptance speech to like interrupt the ritual, but it is gonna leave him like totally open to being backstabbed by the hooded figure.
Interesting. Okay.
You know what I mean? So like my hope is that like,
so you're creating a distraction.
I'm creating a distraction
for the chanting cultists, but also for the rogue himself.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like this will work really nicely with Matt's assassination
attempt. For the current challenge that's about to take place, Glass, what would you like to do?
I am not entirely sure of everyone's motivations here, so I think I'm gonna watch and see. I'm most interested in seeing how Carl behaves.
Yes. Pulling back open my one-page rule sheet. So, steps to determining result of a contest. GM sets the stage, hinting at what each NPC will try to do. Okay, the hooded figure approaches the rogue, seeming intent on attacking, but also at a disadvantage because he's also trying to find something from the tome at the same time. Being pulled in two different directions.
And there's a puff of smoke.
Yes, there's a puff of smoke concealing, kind of filling the room, perhaps providing some sort of cover to what's about to happen. The rogue grabs a couple of ancient and forbidden tomes and sets them on the ground and stands on them with his dirty boots and clears his throat. The cultists, at the same time, continue their chanting. Now, players have already stated their intentions, unless anybody wants to make any last-minute differences. Okay. Contest groups are determined. So this one, I think, might count as a scrap, which is nice because we've already demonstrated one-on-one combat and team contests. So scrap is when there's at least 3 sides.
Okay.
And the results of a scrap is that whichever NPC score rolls the highest, once you add modifiers and whatnot, wins. Everybody else in the fight loses, and those who either targeted or were targeted by the highest score NPC are destroyed. So, let's see. This surprise attack from the hooded figure is going to be using dexterity, which is not his number 1 stat. So instead of rolling,
What?
he was a D8.
His number 1 stat was spook.
What?
So he'll be rolling a d6, but with a -2 as he is greatly distracted and trying to multitask at this moment. But he's also going to be aided by Matt's die. And Matt, what's your value right now?
I have not. I've only rolled d4. Yeah, I have not been able to advance much.
So party 1 to this fight, the hooded figure will be rolling d6 plus d4 -2. Second is going to be the good old little guy, Mr. Fleetfoot, who he is, well, I guess what he's doing is a charisma thing.
Yeah.
And he is primarily a dexterity guy. So he's not going to be rolling great. He's normally a d6, so he'll be rolling a d4 because he's not rolling with his prime stat. He's also, there's a bit of a sneak attack going on towards him, so I'm going to give him a -1. But he's being assisted by a, I believe, d4, right?
It's just a D2.
Oh, by a d2.
I've yet to find someone whose bravado is useful.
Yes. And then third, we're going to have a good old roll for the cultists as a group. I'm just going to consider them as one NPC here. And this is going to be a d8, no modifiers. First, Matt, why don't you roll the d6 plus d4 -2 for the hooded figure?
D6 plus D4 -2.
Yeah.
As soon as I can get my D4 out of its little D4 hole. Okay, that's a 4.
A 4. Okay. Party 2 in this fight, Mr. Fleetfoot. Go ahead and Trent, roll us the D4 -1 plus the D2.
So it's 3, 2, -1. So 3, 5, 4.
4. Oh, that's a tie. Okay. And can you roll the D8 for the cultist doing the ritual?
8.
8. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So, interesting. Okay. So this means, the highest score NPC is the cultists as a group, so they're going to win. Everybody else loses in what they're trying to do. Those who targeted or were targeted by the highest score NPC are destroyed. So only Mr. Fleetfoot is going to be destroyed. All right.
Socially destroyed. or immolated, whatever happens.
So what happens is the hooded figure stalks towards Mr. Fleetfoot, but Mr. Fleetfoot jumps up on his stack of books and he starts to say, I have something to say to this group. All my life, I've been looked down upon, partially because of my stature, but also partially because of my personality. And I'm happy to finally be here with a group of people. But as he's talking, he gets a little bit frustrated because these guys aren't listening to him. They just keep on chanting. And this little circle of flame that was the size of a coin, it now grows the size of a ball, and then size of a hoop, like the hoop and stick you saw kids playing earlier on the street. And then as it grows bigger, you see it's a portal into a hell realm. And through the portal steps through a gigantic pit fiend. That's right. The hooded figure is distracted as he sees this mighty creature step out of the portal, and all of the cultists go down to their knees, and it steps out, and it says, I hunger, and it reaches out and grabs grabs Mr. Fleetfoot, who's standing up on his little pedestal of books, and it has a little halfling snack. And
alrighty, I'll just add Mr. Fleetfoot to my resume of previous employers.
And
what happens to Trent?
The pit fiend is crunching away on this halfling body, and then feels something kind of stuck in his teeth, and pulls the belt out, and it in his hand grows from halfling size to demon size, and he puts it on. He kind of looks and he's like, is this working for me? Is it working? And he kind of turns and he looks at his butt and he's like, I think it's working for me.
The belt actually shrinks. Once he's got it clasped, it shrinks a little bit to like suck his waist in a bit. And then you get like the rock on fingers on the buckle.
Nice.
Flame kind of like stamps go around the leather.
And the cultists who are bowing before him say, yes, Lord, yes, it's working. It's working.
Oh yeah, guys. I feel so cool right now. Is the voice working? I feel like I should, like, I'm with the demon now. Like, I feel like
Are you is the emboldening belt of personality also a social chameleon? Is that what's going on?
I suppose. I suppose so.
The hooded figures, are bowing before this pit fiend and saying, "Yes, Lord, you look fat, but with a PH."
I think this plan of ours is going poorly thus far.
Which plan do you speak of?
The one to just turn back into human. I think things are getting a little off the rail here.
I think that's a goal more than a plan, if you ask me.
Okay, well, my plan is to turn back into a human. And then for your snark, my plan is to find you, but we'll get to that later.
Hey, Mr. Hooded Figure, Carl here. Don't you think it might be in your best self-interest to instruct the pit fiend of, the purpose
Carl,
at which
readings
he's been
for
summoned?
nerds.
And
Readings for nerds. You should take the belt from it.
First acting on the command that was given by Carl, because we'll get if you want to attempt something else, but first Carl stands before the fiend and says, "Mighty creature of the underworld, we've summoned you here for one purpose and one purpose alone. You are to make sure the ritual goes through as planned, protected at all costs." And the fiend says, "You weakling, summon me from the depths and make me do as you command. Yes, for a few hours you'll have control of me, but then I will have control of your souls for eternity."
Hey, Belt. No, he's better than this. Make him say no.
Hey, demon brother.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother. Here's an idea. You just got summoned here, and it's like a new place. And let's be honest, these guys are nothing compared to you. You should eat some of them to assert your dominance. Yeah, that's what you should do.
Some people have an angel and a devil on their shoulders. This demon just has a pro wrestler on his shoulder.
Do you think the voices make it more convincing, guys?
Sure.
The demon. Okay, so there's that, and then Matt, were you trying to do another command as well before I interrupted you by having Carl's command go through?
I don't know. I kind of want to see what happens when Trent's plays out now.
Okay.
Mine was steal the belt. Now I'm kind of more interested in what happens if the belt stays on.
This could be a very strong ally if we play our cards right and are very lucky.
Glass. Anything from you, Jeremy?
I am a little confused as to what, or do we have any information about what this ritual is? Is this the I know that in the rules there's a ritual that can bring the Lich back. Would my character know anything about this? What's happening here?
Good point. So what you know is the ritual cannot take place until 24 hours have passed. So this ritual that the cultists just pulled off was to summon this pit fiend to basically be a uber powerful bodyguard to make sure that the ritual can go through successfully, because they don't know what forces are going to come and try to stop it.
Got it. So the cultists are trying to make the ritual happen, and the mirror will be I will be released from my curse if this ritual happens.
No, the opposite.
You will only be released from your curse if the ritual is stopped.
Got it. Just to be clear, we don't know what the Horcrux is, but we do know that this ritual brings the Lich back.
I mean, I can only assume it's Carl, but we don't know if we know that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then with that in mind, I want to... The contest is that the fiend is being tempted to eat the cultists instead of doing their bidding, right?
The fiend is being tempted to assert his personality by eating some of these cultists to show they can't just boss him around. Yes. And the cultists, you can expect that they will resist being eaten.
Then I absolutely want that to happen.
Whoa. They can't, he's their master. They can't just resist being eaten.
Well, he's not their master. Actually, they are his master at this point because they've summoned him with a spell. So they are going to be trying to kind of like use their magic to put him back in his place.
Oh, perfect. He's returning to hell.
Yes.
Okay, no, I get you though.
Let's see. So Trent, you're helping the fiend attack the cultist.
Yes.
The other two of you could betray, right, and help the fiend. However, just remember that if you're not successful, that you will lose your ability to tempt the hooded figure, and it's basically dying in this game, right? You'll lose your ability to control anything, and you'll just have to hope that Trent can come save you guys somehow.
I cannot abide the smell of sulfur.
Really? I kind of love it.
So state your intentions, players.
Well, I don't want to not be able to do anything.
Yeah, I think seeing as I feel like trying to help the pit fiend is too risky right now, seeing as the cultists have the upper hand.
Okay. So, now this is, rules-wise, this is a little bit shifty because you're supposed to only be able to help with, like, let's see, your trait that you enhance is audacity.
Yeah. I consider it very audacious to go in the face of your master's commands.
I guess so. So this isn't so much about, like, killing cultists, it's more about overcoming the spell.
Yes,
that works.
And the display route for that is a brute physical expression.
Yeah.
Also, in the metagamey version, this is me trying to increase my stupid die by playing to this more on strengths.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, strength is his biggest stat, is the Pit Fiend's biggest stat in D&D. So, unless somebody has a suggestion for something that, for whatever quality would be should be the Pit Fiend's biggest stat.
Charisma.
I don't know about that.
He's got a very forceful personality.
All right, let's see. I'll say
the Balrog had quite a presence in Moria.
This is true.
That's true. I think he's a D12 in general because this is a full-on Pit Fiend, right?
Yeah, that's why there's an
be
entire cult
pretty
to
tough.
summon him.
So he's a D12 in general, but he's going to be rolling with a D10 for strength. So Trent, you are going up to a D8. So that's a pretty nice upgrade. So he'll have a D10. He is acting against the very spell that summoned him. So I'm going to say a -2.
Okay.
But plus the D8
plus me.
from Trent. And then on the other side of this combat will be the cultist and the hooded figure. So that's going to be a D8 and another D8. And the two of you aren't helping at all, right?
I don't think I can.
Meanwhile, D6 from Carl is being added to the hooded figure. So go ahead and Trent, roll your D10 and D8.
Okay, so that's a 7 plus 2 minus 2, so it's just a 7.
Okay. All right.
Very small number.
D8 for the group of cultists.
That's a 5 for them.
Okay. And D8 plus D6.
4 and 5, so 14 total for their side?
Yes. Okay, so 14 versus 7. For a team contest, add up the scores for the two sides. Those on the higher side win. Those on the lower side lose. Anyone who scored lower than the difference is destroyed. So 14 versus 7. The difference is 7. So he didn't score lower than the difference.
I scored the difference.
So in this case, because the contest is seeing of whether he can overcome the spell, being destroyed in this case would be like completely losing his will to the spell and just being a puppet of their whims. So that doesn't quite happen, but he roars and he reaches out to grab more cultists to eat and says, "I'm not your plaything." But the cultists start chanting louder, and a purple light emanates from their eyes, and his hand stops before it grabs onto the nearest cultist to him. And they say, "You must obey us." That is the terms of the spell. That is why you're here. You cannot disobey our will. And the fiend roars and the fire shoots out of his nostrils, but he is compelled to stick with what they're saying at this point.
Well, Jedrick 2.0, we tried.
Hey, hooded guy, you know how that pit fiend just tried to fight back at you guys? It would really show your dominance and prove that you're his master is throwing the book at him.
Both literally and
think about how insulting that would be. You're the real master here. I believe the term is give him the book.
Meanwhile, the Carl actually.
I'm just worried is all. I don't want
to. No, it's good that you're taking action to do this. It's just I'm running through my head of like I'm doing two things at once of being like, okay, how well is the system working? All right, we're in one location. We've done 3. This is the third contest that's going to happen in this location so far. Okay, what am I going to do to
dungeon for 3 hours?
What am I going to do to make sure that things start to shift up a little bit? So here's what's going to happen. All right, you say this command, and at the same time, Carl says, hooded figure, it's weird that you were about to kill that guy who agreed to join your team, and now you're having a desire to throw the book that you need. I think it would be really in your best self-interest to remove the poniard and the glass. Clearly, they are controlling you to do things that aren't in your best self-interest.
In this moment, I would like to appeal to this cultist's sense of morality and to make him realize all the evil that he has done.
Yes, in this moment, not any of the previous ones.
I need to go apologize to my mother.
Just this one specifically.
He has killed the inductee he brought in to introduce to his peers, his friends, and they didn't bat an eye. And now he's being controlled by these evil items to go through a book of who knows what evil is in there. I would like to tempt him to sort of change his I'm trying to find out how to word this in an instinct, but maybe make him sort of realize that this cult that he's joined is maybe not the best idea for him. Right?
Go rethink your life choices.
And that he should take this book and symbolically destroy it as he quits this cult.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got a command. So we've got one temptation to throw the book at the demon, a second temptation to remove the items that are tempting him, and a third temptation to quit his career as a cultist and go symbolically destroy the book. Now, this is something I haven't written into the rules of what to do when there are multiple temptations at the same time that are all in conflict. I'm going to make a new rule for this because multiple people are attempting the same figure. And one is tempting to do something based on charisma, one based on self-interest, and one based on instincts of morality. And let's see. So I'm going to have each of you roll, and I will just whoever rolls highest is going to be the command that he immediately does. And in the future, if you want to try to command him again, you still can. But I am also going to give Jeremy a -1 modifier for the especially difficult roll because he is trying to appeal to this cultist sense of instinct, or this cultist sense of morality. So go ahead and Matt, roll your die.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay. And can you roll for Carl a d6?
Yeah.
1.
1 for Carl. And Jeremy? Go ahead and roll yours with your -1 modifier.
4 minus 1 is 3.
3. Okay, the hooded figure grabs the book and then grabs for the items and then clutches his heart and he's like, frustrated for a second, doesn't know what to do, and then hurls the book towards the demon. So you in this goal of throwing the book at the demon, I don't really think this needs to be a contest that I'm rolling, because this isn't like you're trying to kill the demon with the book, right? Like,
No.
You just wanted to get the book out of this guy's hands.
Yeah.
So you throw the book, bounces off the demon's large chest, and he reaches down and picks it up off the ground and says, the incantation. Yes, it is my duty to make sure this ritual goes through as planned. So I should hold on to this, indeed. And then he says, now, you miserable little cultists, tell me where this ritual will take place, and I will go there at once to make sure that we have the area set apart.